What is important about this community that kept you here, or brought you back?
My family was the most important to me, and I actually went to grad school in Washington, D.C., and I taught there. I lived there almost 4 years, but I grew up in Fulton, and my family is from Fulton, and I missed family, and I wanted to come back for family.
Tell the most significant thing that happened to you that was connected to this community.
Well, this goes back a few years, but the most significant thing, other than having my family, being married and having my family here, when I was a high school junior, our high school band was invited to go to an international music festival because Fulton was always just excelling in music. And we were invited to go for a 3-week trip to Europe to play in an international music festival. And I remember thinking, how in the world, we had to raise like $58,000 for about 72 to 75 members of the band. And this community was absolutely awesome. They rallied behind us. Yeah. We raised the money, and we had companies offer us money. Parents worked so hard trying on every kind of fundraiser you can imagine. Yeah. And students, we did everything from collecting cans, having car washes. We had our own shop in Fulton called the Vienna Shop. Wow. And we used to sell baked goods and handmade items, and all the parents worked on it really hard. And we went to Europe for 3 weeks. Can you imagine going with your best friends
That's awesome.
to Europe? It was awesome. It was fabulous. And that's a memory that we'll have all our lives. Yeah. So it was awesome.
Yeah. What do you feel has changed the most in your community?
The economy.
Yeah.
From the time that I grew up, when I was growing up and I was in high school, Fulton had so many companies here. Nestle's was in full operation. Miller Brewing was in full operation. Bird's Eye Foods, among so many other companies. So to see that change, I've seen the change in the schools and in the students. That's a sad part for me, to see how the economy has really changed so much. So that's what's changed the most. I would say the economy, and I'd say the people's pride in how their property looks.
Yeah.
Because I was always raised, again, old-fashioned old Mrs. Chirello, but that no matter what you had, you always were clean and you always took care of your property. You didn't have to be wealthy or have a lot of money to do that. And that seems like a lot of people still do, but there's unfortunately too many that just don't seem to have pride in what their property looks like.
Yeah. Is there something that you miss in the community?
Definitely. I miss our Fulton Hospital. Yeah. I miss the companies that had been in Fulton. We had friends and I had students who actually, their parents came from Europe to work in a Fulton plant. Yeah. I had piano students whose parents worked at Nestle's. They were in from Switzerland. And you had that real mix of people and a mix of just so many different backgrounds that that's changed a lot about Fulton.
Yeah. What is your hope for the children in this community?
My hope is that they would value education and want to get the very best education they could get. Yeah. And as a teacher, my frustration was some of the students who thought they could just quit after 8th grade and play their video games and they'd just be fine. Yeah. But education is a key to open up so many opportunities for them. Mm-hmm. And if only students could find something to do at school, whether it be sports or music or a club, to keep them away from drugs. Yeah. And smoking, no matter what they're smoking, but cigarettes too. Even kids in junior high, I'd see them on their tracks smoking, and there's so much, that they have to offer, and I just would love to see all kids be drug-free and value education and know that they have so many opportunities with an education. They can get ahead, they can make a good future for themselves.
Yeah. Is there any advice you would like to give them?
Work as hard as you can. do the best you can. No matter what you do in life, make it the very best effort.
Yeah.
And whether you are working in an office, working in a factory, working as a garbage collector, working as an educator or a professional of some sort, do the best work you can. And be kind to each other, be kind to one another.
What would you like to see happen here in the future?
I would love to see business bloom again in Fulton. It seems like downstate New York seems to get the most of the money or the attention. I would love to see the wonderful community we have full of rivers and lakes, and it's a beautiful part of the country. I'd love to see businesses relocate here and give people an opportunity to work, to have jobs, because this really is a beautiful part of the country. And I get frustrated when people put Fulton down and they make fun of it. We have so much here to offer. When I lived in Washington, people would flock to the Potomac River. Seriously, it was nothing real pretty to look at, but people would flock to the river and put their blanket or towel down just to sit by the water. And we have a lake in this community, we have a river, we are surrounded with beautiful waterways. That there's so much this has to offer, this community has to offer, that I would love to see businesses come here and people to take pride in their property and try to make it bloom again.
Yeah.